Right, I think we're live. Is there anybody there? Oh, we got comments already. How are we all doing, folks? How you all doing? Everyone good? Excellent. Good. Right, folks, welcome to a special edition of Brew Time. Obviously, I've been on a bit of a hiatus for about the last, I think, 4 or 5 months, really. Things just it was just too busy. We were away touring all the time. I had loads of just everything swamped in on top, basically. So I thought, right, before we start dropping all the plates, let's stop spinning a few and just concentrate on a couple of things. So it's been a busy year with tours. Speaking of which, here's Simon. There.
Hello.
How are we doing, Si? Now, for those not in the know, Si and I both own and run ChickenStrips, which is the touring arm. Been a busy old year, mate, hasn't it?
It has. Have you worked out how many miles you've done?
No. I haven't got a clue. You love all this stuff, don't you?
Yeah, well, I thought it was quite moderate. I think on the tours we did just over 11,500.
Wow.
And I did another, because obviously I was borrowing bikes from Kawasaki. Yeah. I did another like 4,500, 5,000 on theirs. So it's actually been a quiet year. I've only done about 30,000 miles this year. It's quite.
Oh, is that it?
Quite restrained, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't got. I think I'm normally at around about 20,000. I think now. Yeah. Used to be a bit more, but now I think it's about 20-odd thousand, something like that. What do I do here? Sorry, mate. I'm all fingers and thumbs here because this new software I'm using StreamYard. TMF and the Peaky Biker and all them, they've convinced me to go to StreamYard, and it's got so many different things on it to have a little look at. Look, farting about with comments and all sorts here. Right, so let's run through a couple of quick comments, see what everyone's saying. Everyone's just saying good evening. What's that? John McPhee, Bruce, you're going to hear Simon normal, like not in his helmet, Mr. Muffle. Yes. Your comms have got a lot better this year, mate.
Yeah, changed microphone, basically. I was using the stick-on microphone before, which didn't really work as well. Moved to a boom mic. That seemed to clear it all up. So that was the big difference.
Yeah, definitely. Folks, I'm assuming things like Sena and all the other comms units will be the same. With Cardo, you get a little button mic, like Si says, that you can just like Velcro or stick to the inside of your lid. But they also give you that boom one, which is the one on the arm, that flexible arm. I definitely find the boom is way better. A bit more fiddly, but it's way better to use because it allows you to bring the mic right up. Ideally, you want the mic right in front of your mouth. So if you give it a wee kiss, wee trout lips, you should be able to just touch the mic, and that's sort of the ideal distance, really. And then you get beautiful, crystal clear audio until Simon starts coughing.
Yeah, wow. Can't have everything.
Right, so what are we going to do in this one? We just thought we'd do a little run through, really, like best of the year, I suppose. Highlights, what we've been up to.
Yeah, I mean, which was your favourite trip? Which one did you enjoy the most?
It's the most recent, but I would say Corsica, just because I'd never been there before, and I mean, it's just epic. I mean, it's the closest thing I can describe, and I'm editing that series just now, is Gran Canaria. That's the closest I can get to it. Gran Canaria is good, do not get me wrong, it is good. But Corsica's just so much of a bigger island, and it felt like it never stopped. Like even in like where the hotels were, you come out the hotel and you're on a squiggly road, and it just didn't stop for the entire time we were there.
Yeah, it's an awesome place. I mean, Sardinia as well is good, but we'd need another week to plug that in. But Sardinia is up there, but Corsica I prefer of the two islands. I mean, for me, my favourite trip was still French Alps. Just love being in the Alps. Corsica is good because we get to do a little bit of the Alps on the way down, but obviously it's a bit of a gallop to get there. It's such a long way from the UK down to Toulon when we get the boat that we don't have that much time to play. We don't do it all on motorway, but Yeah, the aim is to get to Corsica, and
Yeah, definitely.
I was really a bit worried about that one because of the length of transit we had to do. I'm thinking, is it? I've convinced everyone this is a good idea. Is everyone actually going to get to the end of it and think, why do we do all that distance to do 3 days on the island?
Yeah.
Definitely worth it.
Absolutely. I mean, on the tour, I didn't hear anyone complain about the transit down there, and
No.
like 3 days. After 3 days, I think if you were going to stay there for 5, you would end up doing 2 days, a day off, and then 2 days. And I never thought I would say that, but you definitely need the day off. People were knackered by day 3 on the island,
Yeah.
weren't they?
Yeah, it's hard work.
Yeah,
It is hard. I mean, everyone talks about the tail of the dragon, which is great, but it's 11 miles long.
yeah,
Corsica's an entire island. We think there's about 500 miles on it.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's fun. It is phenomenal. I mean, we've both been very fortuitous to ride all over the world on some of the most amazing roads that are out there, and I don't think anywhere matches that. The closest is Gran Canaria that I've ridden so far, just on pure scale. It just doesn't stop. We've got a little question here. Dazador 45. How you doing, Daza? Question for you both. I'm not aware of how you both got introduced and decided to go into business together.
Dickie Vegas' fault, isn't it? It's
It is,
Richie
yeah.
Vida. So
Yeah, it was one of the bike shows, wasn't it?
yeah, I'd just come back from riding to Australia, and obviously I used to work for Bauer, who put on the London show. And I got back, and Nathan Milward, who was an adventurer, he was doing the talking stage at the show, inviting guests who'd done some travel. I'd just come back. The old firm said, "Oh, we're not objecting to having him in there," and I ended up sharing a room with Richie Vida, who I'd never met. And in fact, I didn't meet him until the next morning, because he came in. I don't know what he did. I, meanwhile, had gone to a punk show in North London, so I got back about 1 a.m. Obviously, hadn't had any drink at all. Didn't make a loud noise. Didn't snore a lot.
Jesus, you're like a foghorn as well. You're horrendous, says I.
Yeah, but we got on fine, and it was when you started doing the podcasts the first time, and you were looking for guests. He suggested that I come on.
Yeah.
And then after that, we did a couple of rides, and then we did it. Well, let's do a tour. So we did Scotland first, didn't we? Did a lap of Scotland, and was surprised by how well it went, and it's taken off from there. And next stop, Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah, exactly. We're off to Australia in a couple of, a matter of weeks, really, isn't it? Was it 8 weeks, something like that? Yeah, it's crazy how quick it's come by. But yeah, we're off to Australia for the first international one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're all
Mid-Feb.
international, aren't they?
Jet setters. Oh, yes. Yeah, so that was kind of how it was. And it's just worked well, hasn't it? I mean, I obviously started ChickenStrips years ago, but I was only really comfortable with taking maybe 6, 7 people max by myself, because you never know what you're going to get. You know, you never know what the dynamics of the group are going to be like. You never know what the skill levels, how people like to ride. Some people are happy just to plod along. Other people want to push it all the time. So you can't have a group too big. I'm just not comfortable with that. It's a big responsibility. So I said to Si, why don't we like buddy up together, and then we can effectively double the amount of people that we can take. And in a business sense, that actually then allows you to start making a bit of profit out of it, rather than just covering costs, which was basically all I was doing before. So we tried that, and it's worked well. We seem to be able to offer a good package at a very competitive rate, and everyone's a winner.
Yeah.
Happy days.
And we have a good division of labour in that, I put all the routes together because that's my gig. Thanks, Piers. Yeah, Corsica was all right. So I put together all the tour packs, all the routes. When we're on the road, I lead, so Bruce can do the filming. Then Bruce does all the admin, all the grown-up stuff that I'm too lazy to be bothered with, and obviously does all the marketing and is the kind of the main host when we're on the road. So We just divide and conquer, and it all works.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's easy. It doesn't feel like. I'm going to digress. I used to edit Guitar Magazine and interviewed the Hives before they became famous. And one of the things they always said was they did all the stuff themselves. They did all the booking, they ran all the merchandise, they did all of that because that felt like the work. So when they were on stage, that was just having fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we both treat it the same way. So all the work is the stuff that goes beyond before we get out there. When we're on the road, we're just having a good ride, and we're not.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make it. That means it doesn't really feel like work. It does feel like fun, even though it is work.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Sadly, as we found out, beginning of 24, didn't we, when we lost one of our friends, Jeremy, on a tour, and it's a fact of life, sadly, and certainly when you have a group of motorbikes together, there is always a present danger, isn't there? But it's
Yeah,
it is work. It is work at the end of the day. But God, we are living the dream, mate, aren't we? And long may it last.
Yeah.
Long may it last.
Yeah. Silliest oopsie.
Yes, Rebecca Christie, silliest oopsie that you two have done on ChickenStrips.
I missed the floor in Scotland. Went to put my leg down, and after, I think at that point my SX had about 50,000 miles on the clock, and that's the first time it went over. I put my foot down. The floor wasn't where I thought it would be. Knee folded, crunched. I'm wondering whether that was the start of my knee grief, because I've literally just 2 weeks ago had a knee operation, 3 weeks ago now. So on that side, so maybe that was the first sign that all wasn't well. But yeah, that's the stupidest thing I've done. Proper learner mistake.
I'd actually say no, it's not, Simon. I would say the stupidest mistake was it Corsica when you booked a hotel for the wrong night, and we literally found out, was it a week before? We were like, oh shit.
Yeah, but I don't do the admin, do I?
That's why I do the admin now. But now I feel the pressure because I'm a bit OCD with stuff like that. So like I'll check 3 months before we go. I'll contact the hotel going, we're coming. You've got the rooms, yeah? Yeah, no problem. And then two months before, we're coming. You got the hotel room. But you'd be amazed sometimes when you just need to get somebody that maybe doesn't know the system or whatever, and you contact them a week before, 2 weeks before. Here's the rooming list, and they go, "Oh, we haven't got any note of your booking." What?
Well, we had that on the first trip, didn't we? The very first one. On the way into the first, we're like 2 hours out of Oban, and the phone goes, you booked 14 rooms or 15 rooms. We've 15, got 9.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Best you find some rooms then. But we got it sorted. It's all part of it, isn't it? It's all part of it.
Yeah.
Thanks for that one, Rebecca. There's another one here. Pete Ski Rides. How you doing, Pete? How much happier and relieved are you now, Bruce, having Simon doing the trip planning and organisation? Also, any thoughts on a US trip? I am much happier now that Si's doing all the routes, but I wasn't initially, because anyone that knows me, I am a control freak. If I'm involved with something, I just have the mindset of, I know what I'm doing. Just let me deal with it. But obviously I realised then, but it's just relinquishing that control and going, Simon's way better qualified than me for dealing with the routes. Yeah. There you go. And then, like Si says, I deal with like the marketing and the admin stuff. So yeah, it works. It does work. US trip.
Well, we've talked about it. The trouble is the US is in the same hemisphere. So to go to America, we have to drop something in Europe.
Yeah.
And it's an expensive trip by the time we got the flights. Freight to America is a pain in the arse. It's much easier to freight to Canada. Direct import to the US has a lot of paperwork involved. So then you're looking at hire, which makes it even more expensive. We went down the route of trying to talk to hire companies, and they were a bloody nightmare. We couldn't get a straight answer on. All we want is, what is a group rate? So we can tell people that, this is the rate, but you can charge this, and just give us a straight price. And we couldn't get any sense out of them. And I think the reality is that to if you can do that kind of trip, it needs to be at least a fortnight, doesn't it? But then to fit that in with the stuff we're already doing, we'd have to drop 2, maybe 3 other tours.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't seem sensible. We'd have to make it too expensive. It's yeah. I mean, America's easy if you want to go and do it. They speak the right language, mostly, kind of. They're mostly friendly, kind of, apart from the ones with the guns. But it's,
yeah, I would like to do a US tour for sure. It's just going to be. It's just going to be figuring it out, isn't it? Yeah, because I mean, with a pure business head on, it's a far better return for us to do a Europe. Even it's a better return to do a Euro tour than it is a UK tour, because Scotland ended up being one of our most expensive tours last year. It's part of the reason we're not doing a Scotland one in 26. It just doesn't make financial sense. We're better off doing another European one, and it's cheaper for people, and we make a bigger return out of it, effectively. Yeah. So, and to do something with America, you would either have to price it ridiculously high, or we wouldn't make as big a return, and then is it economically viable? So you just have to put that sort of business head on, folks, I'm afraid. But I think we'll see how this Australia one goes. I really want to go. I really fancy Africa, like South Africa or something. I'm very tempted with that. So watch this space, people. Watch this space.
Yeah, didn't end well for me in Africa last time.
Yeah, it's a scene of one of your many offs.
Not many, 3, bloody 3, the last one. But and it didn't count as a crash because it wasn't on the road. So it's.
Go on, what are the details? Do tell us.
The rules of crashing are it's got to be on a paved public highway, so off-road, racetracks, proving grounds. Those are just incidents. The second rule is that if it doesn't take a metal pin to fix it, it's not a proper injury, is it, Petal? It's just... and the third rule is if there are no witnesses, you can deny it. There were witnesses, but it was off-road. So because I broke 18 out of 24 ribs, collapsed a lung, I was just winded in an off-road incident. But it did mean I had to stay out there for a month because I couldn't fly after collapsing the lung. So, it wasn't good. But,
keep telling you, off-road's bollocks.
Yeah, it is. Dangerous. It wasn't my fault.
I'll tell you how bollocks off-road is. Andy Mancam, I don't know if you know Andy or follow Andy. He's another YouTube motor vlogger. He was out, where was he? He was off-roading in mainland Spain, and he had enough. He lost it, and he ended up breaking his leg, his fib and his tib. In fact, it's actually quite a bad smash he's had. So, yeah, he's... I think he's still in a hospital somewhere. Poor old bugger. Andy, if you're watching this at any point, we wish you well, pal. Yeah, stick to tarmac. Yeah,
that's my theory. So Mark from Leeds, how many U-turns have I done this year? On tour, 1. I think. I don't do many.
He's lying. 1 per tour, maybe.
U-turns are good practice. I quite like making the entire group do a U-turn. That's quite funny. But the thing is, most people don't bother practicing U-turns. When you're doing stuff for magazines, that's all you do is U-turns. You do a million of them, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards around corners to get pictures. And everyone drops bikes doing U-turns, apart from Bruce. Bruce is the only person I know. Not that Bruce Dunn.
Oh!
Just retired after 30 years of road testing. Or not retired, but he stopped working for MCN. Never dropped a bike while testing. It's the only... Everyone else, throw them into the landscape with gay abandon. Some worse than others. But yeah, Bruce never dropped one. It's remarkable.
Go on, you mentioned magazines there. For people that aren't in the know then, give us a little synopsis. What's your career in the magazines? Go.
Well, I started in 2003 on Bike. I was already a journalist. So I started on Bike as production editor, ended up being head of publishing for all the magazines, which didn't let me ride enough, so I went back to Biker's news editor, and then went from there to Ride. I was on Ride for 10 years, finishing up as editor for the last couple. Which,
There you go.
the main thing I did when I was on Ride was all the touring stuff, which laid the framework for what I do now, planning routes for people, and obviously for the books.
Oh yeah, give a plug for the books.
Yes, yeah. You can get them all from the website. Link in the comments or something, please.
What is the website? He's not very good at this marketing stuff, is he, folks?
www.mynameSimonWeir.co.uk.
You don't need the www.grandad. SimonWeir.co.uk. There you go, folks. Yeah. Go there. Everything's there. You can buy his tours. You can, not our tours, but his tours. You can buy like day rides. You can buy all his books. There's a whole load of stuff on there. Right, that's that done. Fen Tour. I'm looking forward to the Pyrenees. Have I made a good call? Oh, God, definitely. Yeah. Honestly. Martin, honestly, mate. Pyrenees is... We used to have this debate, didn't we? Because I love the Picos, and Si would always favour towards Pyrenees. And I thought, Pyrenees are good, but I don't think they're as good as the Picos. Then I did his Pyrenees, and it was like, oh, there's a lot more here that I haven't seen. So, Pyrenees, I still prefer the Picos, just for this. There's just something about the Picos for me, that whole northwest area of Spain. But Pyrenees is mint, absolutely mint.
Yeah, it's a different kind of riding, isn't it? Picos is quite tight, and it's more, the stuff that we do is more of the sort of flowing, epic kind of stuff. It's, it's, I would say, a bigger scale in the Pyrenees, isn't it? It's, you got longer roads, longer turns, bigger views. It's,
You'll love it, Martin. You'll absolutely love it. We've got to apologise to anyone that's listening with headphones. Simon has an inherent cough all the time. If you've toured with us, you will be very familiar with that cough. Apologies. Nothing we can do about it.
I'm taking liquid to try and minimise the coughing.
Yeah, that's his excuse for having a beer on tap. Good lad. Pete Ski Ride, shame on the Scotland piece. As with the NC 500 and some of the other routes, the hotel companies have started charging a fortune. Now a South Africa tour, now you're talking. It's definitely on my list. Yes, cheers, Pete. That's basically what it is. I think Scotland and, believe it or not, Ireland, the hotel prices in Ireland were worse than Scotland. It was ridiculous when we looked at like a 10-day tour over there, trying to find somewhere that had 15 rooms along the routes that we were doing. The prices were just astronomical. So, we ended up just pulling the plug and not doing it. It's a shame.
Yeah. Ireland was, when I was looking at it, just doing a vague check, Ireland was more expensive than Switzerland for the hotels.
Yeah.
I mean, food and drink isn't as bad as over there, but astonishing.
Yeah, it's crazy that, isn't it? Right, I'm just putting the comments up so we can have a quick look and see what's going. What's that, Simon? How do you go about planning routes? Plan on digital maps and then possibly ride to confirm they are good.
It's normally the other way around. I normally almost always use places that I've already been. You have to remember, I've been touring in Europe since a hideously long time, over 30 years of cocking around over there, and I'm lucky that I remember where I've been. So normally, that's what I start with. If I'm going from there to there, what do I know between those 2 points that's good? I will start checking. If I can't build a route entirely using my knowledge, there are maybe 8 or 10 foreign road testers. Hang on, I'm going to have a drink so I don't cough here. I'm going to need more beer at this rate. But there are...
I like his excuse. I might have to use this one. This is good, this.
There are 8 or 10 foreign road testers that I tap up for advice. I never get them to plan stuff, but I give them options. Route A, route B, which one to use. But it's all based on knowledge. I did have a guy I tapped up for just advice about route the other week, and he went out to ride it for me.
Wow.
And so it was a nice sunny morning until I was an hour from home, and then the heavens opened. He was only checking part of the route, so like a hour and a half, 2 hour bit, but for him it was a 3 hour ride. So yeah, that's a large bottle of wine I need to send to the south of France. So
Simon, don't take this the wrong way, but have you ever been tested for being on the spectrum of any kind?
Sinclair Spectrum.
The reason I'm asking is that you genuinely have an incredible memory for roads. You just like we'll be away riding somewhere, whether it's on a tour or just Si and I on a personal ride somewhere, and you'll go, oh yes, I remember up here, like 3 miles down the road, there's a big tree on the left. You take that left, or 12 miles down the road, it's a lovely calf on the right, or there's a beautiful church or something like that, and you go, and boom, it's there. And he'll see it, and then he'll go, oh, it's changed a bit. I haven't been here for 17 years. And you're just like, how do you... But this is like everywhere we've ever been on the tours.
Yeah, but I can't remember people's names. So, yeah, I remember faces. But it's just the way my brain works. I've got a good spatial memory. Academically, I studied geography, and one of the things that we looked at in the degree was mental mapping and how you build a mental map of a place. And it's kind of like a memory palace. It is just a trick, but I need cues. If I don't get a cue, then I don't get a handle on it.
Right.
I mean, this year, on the way back from Corsica, the first night we stopped in a little town called Vienne, and I'd been there. I didn't recognise a bloody thing. I thought, I've finally met my match. It's 30 years since I've been here. Don't recognise any of it. And then we walked into town for dinner, and there's a Roman amphitheatre. Walked past that and I went click, 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 click. Yep, now I know where I am. There's bars there. The girl I used to know used to live up there. It all came back to me.
Careful, Simon, careful.
Being diplomatic.
The amount when we first started riding together, we started riding your Bikers Britain routes, didn't we? I had this idea to like go and try and ride all of the routes and commit them onto video. I think we did 3 or 4. Yeah. But just about every single one was via like Simon's past love life.
It's not true.
Anyway, we'll move on. We'll move on. What have we got here? BP, what's he saying here? BP 700. Brian, evening guys. Bruce, is the MFL Gran Canaria November 2024 plaque mounted in a special place? I don't see it on the wall. This is the butt plug award, isn't it? Yes. You'll see that I'm just finishing the vid for that now. That'll come out next on the channel. It's up in the garage. It's all part of the regalia that comes with me for all the clan weekends. So it's just a little award that goes out. He basically mounted a butt plug on a big medallion. So you'll see it in the vid. Thanks, Mark. Cheers to that, mate. Thank you. What's this one? Staza again. I'm the same as Simon. Great spatial awareness, good memorising visual things like roads, but names escape me. I do have dyslexia and starting the road to a possible ADHD diagnosis. You have a superpower, Simon.
No,
just shaking his head.
Just a giant brain. I'm like Marvin, the paranoid android. Yeah, brain the size of a planet. They sent me to open the door. Yeah.
Right, so let's go back on the tours that we've done this year then. Where did we start? We started with Ultimate Picos, didn't we?
We started with the Picos, yeah. I was really happy with that work, how that all came together. Every year we've kind of tweaked it. Because last year we did 2. We did my version, we did your version, and this one was basically kind of the unification of putting the 2 bits together.
Yeah.
The only thing that didn't work was that last night hotel, which... It was okay. I'd had customers use it on the way to Bilbao before. I was asked,
yeah.
Right. And they said, yeah, it's fine.
It was the bar, wasn't it?
Yeah. And it wasn't as clean as it should have been. It was, thankfully the restaurant down the road was fantastic.
Just chalk and
redeemed it a
cheese,
lot.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
That restaurant was amazing. I wish they did enough rooms. I think they do a couple, but not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was good. We got a little bit unlucky with the weather, which was a shame. But
It was April, though, wasn't it? So I mean, it's just when the good roads always tend to be up in the mountains, don't they? And if the mountains are lush and green and beautiful to look at, it's like Scotland, Ireland, Wales.
Yeah.
There's a reason, it gets lush and green because it gets some rain. So it's just part of it. We had great days. We had some rainy days, but
yeah,
say
we're doing it in May this year, aren't we? To try and dodge that.
Yeah, definitely. Dex Radio, are you still doing your own editing? I thought you had an editor now. I am, but we have an editor. He's just working on the first sort of tour as we speak. I think he's just started on it last week. So see how that works out. See. The idea is that I will deal with like anything that isn't tours. So he'll deal with Rich will deal with all the tour stuff and just try and clear that backlog out the way, and then that'll allow me to concentrate on some other stuff. I'm only doing the Canaries one because I'm taking another group to Canaries mid-December, and I suddenly thought, crap, I haven't edited last year's one. And it gets even worse because I posted out the first episode from it on the WhatsApp group for that tour, only to realise it was the wrong tour. I'd posted it out on the year before, and I haven't even edited their trip yet either. So it was like, oh no, I forgot about that one. So there's going to be a lot of Canaries content coming.
Yeah.
I might just add that one to Rich's pile, I think. Yeah, we'll see. Anyone that's never edited before, folks, certainly if you've never edited like tour content's totally different to like your normal YouTube vids when you're doing like a camera review or if you're just out for a ride. You just end up with a mountain of content spread over a week from multiple different cameras, and it just can be really daunting. It's daunting for me having been on the trip, but Rich, the new editor, he has no connection with these tours, so he's got no idea of personalities, he's got no idea of what went on the tour itself, so he just literally has to sit and go through days of footage. So I don't envy the poor bloke. We'll see how it goes. He might do one and just go, nah, that's not for me. We'll see. Right, that's that one. Right, so after Picos, where do we go? Was it Portugal next?
Yeah, Portugal, which was, that's practically the same as my standard off the website Portugal tour. Normally, those form the basis of most of the trips that we do, but I have to make them shorter because the dynamics of the big group, lunch stops take longer, petrol stops take longer. So we shorten everything down for those. That one was quite close. And it's fantastic. Portugal is kind of like Spain on steroids, I think. So
in places,
you don't get sucked into the cities because around Lisbon and Porto and along the Algarve, you've just got village into village into village into village. You've got 50 miles of 30-mile-an-hour zones. But out in the countryside, it's just awesome. And there's no one there. That's the best bit. You can, all these amazing roads, great surfaces, lovely weather, and you do 2 overtakes in the morning because there's nothing out there.
Yeah. I was amazed because I was telling my mates that I used to tour with all the time, and I've sadly I hardly ever ride with them anymore, sadly. But I was telling them how good Portugal was, so they decided to go this year.
Yeah,
they went during the summer, sort of June, July time, and they liked it, but they weren't blown away by it. And I was like, "Did you go here, there, and like they said they've been to all the places that we did, like they've done a lot of the roads we did, but they were like, nah, I prefer the Picos. I was like, I'm really surprised because I thought it was amazing. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's different things float different people's boats, but that's why we have a range of tours. I think a lot of people, once they've been to Picos once, feel comfortable going back there because they kind of push the envelope a little bit to get to one place, and then it's like a nice comfortable jumper going back there.
Yeah.
Whereas I like constantly going somewhere fresh. Pete's asked, where would I like to go next? I want to do more of Eastern Europe. I want to do more of Czechia, as it's now called, the old Czech Republic, Slovakia. I've only done very small bits of Hungary, and I'd like to do much more of that. I've done Romania once. I'd like to go back and do much more of that.
Romania is amazing. I tell you where I really, really loved and will go back for sure and explore more. North Macedonia. It's just outstanding. I loved it.
Yeah.
It had the feel of like a European country that's at the sort of start of its. I don't mean any offence by this. It's just my limited vocabulary trying to express it in words. Like it's on the start of its Western journey. Do you know what I mean? It's like
that's what it is.
It almost feels untouched, but not quite. Yeah.
It's because they're post-Soviet, and some sections adapted and moved to a more sort of Western mode quicker. Serbia, I found the interesting one. I found that quite odd, because that's quite Russian facing, and you see Cyrillic signs and things. I found that quite weird. Bosnia was all right. It was wet and cold every time I went to Bosnia. And the roads there, I mean, Jesus, they've got proper Bon Jovi bridges made of wood, so slippery when wet, and the roads just so polished.
He's got to slip in a shit joke, haven't you?
But,
is this one of your new jokes for next year you were telling me about?
No.
All right. Thank God for that.
That's an old joke.
Right, another one from Pete here. To a man, travelled. Oh, let's let him choke. To a man, so travel to as many places as Simon. I'm sure there's many places you still would like to do, but which one's got the burning desire that needs to be ticked off? Also, same to you, Bruce.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. It is Eastern Europe for me. Yeah.
Well, out of the entire planet, that's where you fancy.
Well, hang on.
Do you want me to turn the mic off and you can cough it up? Right, hang on. I've muted. You give me the thumbs up when you're back. Right, thumbs up. Sorry about that, folks.
Obviously, I've got a week in WA in Western Australia when we before we do the main Australia tour, because the East Coast I've done a couple of times because that's where all my family is. West Coast is unknown territory for me, so I'm really looking forward to doing that. I would love to do Latin America. My big trip, I was supposed to ride down through Mexico and Latin America, and I spent far too much time, and more to the point, far too much money in the States, and so I looked at the reality of it and thought, we'll just ship from LA to Oz and carry on, because I would have had to have sped through Latin America to meet the planned boat in Santiago. So I just cancelled that. So that's unfinished business, is Mexico and Colombia, really are the two. All of it looks good, but it's particularly Mexico and Colombia are the two countries that I really want to see.
Yeah, I would definitely like to spend a lot longer in South America. It's a massive, massive continent, and I literally just sped up the west of it. So I would love to go back and really explore and have a good look.
Yeah.
For me, there's still places like, India and all the stands, like Uzbekistan and Tajikistan and all those places, and heading out towards Mongolia. I would love to ride out there. I want to take the jigsaw. There's a rally called the Mongol Rally. And it's usually limited to 125cc or less for bikes. And obviously, because of what's going on with Russia and Ukraine and everything at the moment, they're not doing the usual route-ish, if you like. It's like a rally. So they tell you the start point, they tell you the end point, and you've got, I think, you've got a set time to get to the end point, but it's up to you how you get there. And there's obviously various checkpoints along the way that you have to hit. And it takes you through all the stands and through Mongolia. And, well, I think you finish like Ulaanbaatar somewhere in Mongolia. So I would love to do that. It's only like 10 days, I think, 2 weeks, something like that. So I would love to be able to do that. That's on my pipeline for sure. Do you never fancy anything like that?
No, too much off-road.
No.
I like good, solid tarmac roads, comfortable beds, good food, as you can tell.
Yeah, we do live well on tour. It's got to be said, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's no rowing when I'm on. Mind you, there's not much rowing at the moment here either. But
No.
never mind.
I've been blaming the bad leg all summer. I'm going to keep blaming it for at least another 4 months. So
I've been blaming your bad leg as well.
yeah. So
Mike Heaton, when you guys set off from a cold and wet England but heading somewhere warm, how do you decide on what to wear, or do you take loads of clothes? I want a way to pack light but cover it all.
layers is normally the secret. I mean, I was saying to Bruce, I bought a nice pair of vented Alpine Stars for the summer. Got a decent set of, armored jeans from Sam at Conqueror's Motorcycle Apparel. Nice vented jacket. And when we went to the Alps, I opened the door because it was nice and sunny when I was packing. Half an hour later, I opened the door and it's a monsoon. So I hung all that stuff up, got the Gore-Tex on. I've only done one trip in the vented boots all year. I've been wearing the Gore-Tex boots. Yeah. The rest of it is easy. The off-bike stuff is simple. I use activewear shirts that you can wash and dry. So I take 3 shirts. The revelation for me was getting bamboo underwear and socks, because they also dry really fast. So you can, literally have 3 sets will do the whole trip. Wear one, wash one. One set is drying, one set is ready to go. If you're doing layers, they just need to be small and light. But this year I've gone with the Gore-Tex and then suffered for it. We went from Luxembourg where it was torrential on the way down, so I was in the full Gore-Tex. Finished the tour and I went to the Dordogne to see my girlfriend. 41 degrees, I think it hit, and I'm in full black climb Gore-Tex. I was dying. It's like personal sauna. It's fine when you're moving, especially I was on the H2, so you can get quite a lot of aircon with that thing. The second you stop, far too hot.
I just accept the fact that I'm going to be one of two things. I'm either going to be too hot or I'm going to get wet. I just accept that. That's just the way it is, really, for me. So I would say the vast majority of my touring, I'm wearing my rucka. I just wear my rucka suit. So if it's cold and it's wet, I'm fine, no problem at all. And if it gets warm, I unzip it and I just get hot and sweaty. But I'm a fat Scotsman, so you put me in anything above 25 anyway, I'm hot and sweaty. So it makes no difference to me. If it's going to be mega hot, I will say like July tours, say Pyrenees, somewhere like that, or when I went to Morocco, I got the Adventure Spec Super Shirt. It's like body armor, a body armor top, a shirt with body armor built in. That was brilliant. Awesome. Just that, and I literally put a t-shirt over the top just because a fat man in like figure hugging lycra type stuff is not a very nice sight, especially when they're sat on a bike going over bumpy ground. So I just put the t-shirt over the top just to try and hide my blushes as much as I could. That was it. But that was brilliant. When it's proper hot, I wore that in 49 degrees heat, and it's hot, but it's it was fine. And in 30 odd degree heat, say up in the Pyrenees somewhere, then that's lovely. It's beautiful, really nice. And if it rains, you just chuck I've got a very, very lightweight, almost like a cagoule. It's just a rain jacket, like an off-road rain jacket. I just chuck that over the body armour, and that's it, fine. Plus, I've got a proper bike. I've got the GS with the big Lone Rider panniers, plug. And, all my clothes fit into one of the panniers, so happy days.
all my clothes fit into one pannier on the Z1000 SX, Ninja 1100 SX, because I don't take very many.
Yeah, but we can beat that. We can beat that, can't we? One of our mates,
Oh, yeah.
Jose, that comes on tours with us now. Jose came away for a week in the Picos on an S1000RR, and he had no luggage. We were all looking at him going, "Where's your luggage?" And he was like, "Oh, it's all there. I'm wearing it. It's here." And he held up his little 3 litre, 5 litre tank bag, whatever it was, for the RR. And I just thought he was taking the mick. I just assumed he'd maybe FedExed his cases to the hotel or something. No, that was everything. I mean, he literally wears and carries everything in a little tank bag. That's it. Fair play. Yeah. And he doesn't stink.
GS, yeah. He now has a GS, still uses the same luggage setup.
Yeah. If they did a 1 litre tank bag, he would use that, wouldn't he? He's always trying to reduce everything down.
Yeah.
Right, I think we're battering through questions here. There's quite a load for us to look at. John Gilbert, any plans for a trip to Nordkap now Simon has a route? We were talking about this the other day, weren't we?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just the length of it, It's a 3-week trip. And it's the same thing as America. To factor in the time to do that, you've got to take out so much other stuff. Plus, although one of the guys that did the route this year came back and said, "Yeah, it wasn't that expensive. It was no more expensive than eating or drinking in a city." Mm-hmm. I can't afford to eat and drink in London every day.
I remember this when I was there. That was back 2013, I think it was. I was there, and I remember people saying how expensive it was, but it to me, it didn't seem that much more expensive than like London. Hotels definitely seemed a bit more expensive. A travel lodge that would maybe be 40, 50 quid here was like 120 quid or something over there. But other stuff, if you drink in the centre of London, Covent Garden, all around there, then the booze is about the same sort of price, I found anyway when I was there. I would love to do it, for sure. I would love to do a tour there. Or even just go back myself. Love it. Love the place.
It will be good. It's just time, isn't it? It's fitting it in with everything else. The way to do it is to have someone magic your motorbike to the start. You can fly in, pick it up, and then they'll magic your bike back home again. So you don't have to do anything more than get from one end to the other, which you can do in 10 days comfortably.
But you could ride to Oslo in 3 days.
Yeah.
You could do that. No props.
But they're 3 really boring days.
Yeah, granted. And I suppose effectively that's another week added onto your trip, there and back, isn't it? That's 6 days, say 7. So, okay. Yeah. I think people forget how big Norway is. Fucking huge. Yeah. It's a long way up there, isn't it?
It's bloody miles.
Yeah. Sam Erie, is there any standout reasons for this from this year's tours for the Vest of Shame? Right, anyone not in the know, Vest of Shame, that is a polite vest. I've got a few actually, but the one that's in current circulation is a yellow polite vest. And you get that it's just tour rules. It can be anything. It can just be, it's your turn. It can be, you're the last one to fill up with fuel. You faff the most, dodge you over, anything. Just, it's a kangaroo court, basically. At the start of every day, people decide who's going to get the Vest of Shame. Then you have to wear it, the polite vest, and at the end of the day, you sign it, and that's it.
Yeah. I think the standout was probably Dave, who never got to wear it because we left him in France with his adopted family. So.
Oh, right. Okay. Dave. Oh, Dave, if you're watching this, mate, bless you. Jeez. But do you know what? I think that's probably going to have a lasting impact on Dave, that. I really do think. I think some good things came out of that trip for him. Dave has the Vogue 900, the one I just did a review on a couple of months ago. He's got that bike, and that bike is keyless. But it's one of these keyless bikes that you need the key for to open the fuel cap. With most keyless bikes, the key itself... you want me to? All right, okay. With most keyless bikes, the key itself falls into the fob. I'll mute you. Just give me the thumbs up when you're ready to come back, sir. The key itself falls into the key fob. With the Vogue, it's a little bit different. What happens is, to take the key out, there's a little like a locking mechanism within the fob. You disengage that, and the key separates from the fob itself. So the fob's in one hand and the key's over here. They're not connected anymore. That's definitely a design flaw, because as Dave found out, he stopped to fill up with some fuel, popped the key fob, I think, on his top box on the back of his bike. Got a bit flustered because I think he was one of the last to fill up, so he was in a hurry. Finished, whacked the fuel cap back on, put the key into his tank bag, rode off. 2 hours later, we've been way up in the mountains on some amazing twists. We stopped about an hour and a bit away from the hotel for the night. That's a calf. And then we've all got back on the bikes to do the last sort of hour's ride back to the hotel, and his bike wouldn't start. And then that's when he figured out that he hasn't got the key fob with the key. That's back somewhere, somewhere between the petrol station and this calf. So, yeah, long and short of it was, he had to get recovered. Well, he couldn't be recovered. He basically had to... He ended up putting the bike into local storage. The lady that owned the calf was an absolute diamond and invited him to stay with her and her family. So he ended up living with this lady and her husband and her kids for the best part, well, over a week actually. And they totally adopted him and took him to play bowls in the evening with the village, took him on cycle rides around the area. He had the time of his life. But yeah, an expensive lesson for poor old Dave there. But well. It's a story. It's a story to tell people down the pub. I don't think his wife will think that. I don't think she was very impressed.
No.
What else then? What other ones have we had? Probably the cruelest one we could dish out was to poor old Dale from Corsica, the Corsica tour. It's not his fault, but his bike got nicked on the second night. Unreal. Bike theft, really, we've noticed it this year. It's never normally a problem in Europe. It's never really something that we've come across in Europe. It always felt very much like a UK pandemic, but it seems to be all over Europe now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Especially France.
30 years I've never had any issues. That's the first time. The frustrating thing was, we're in a hotel that says it has a secure car park.
Yeah.
It does, but the thieves have just angle grinded through the metal fence next to the gate.
Yeah.
And then put the panel back so it didn't even look like it. You couldn't see where it had come through until Dell goes to check the gates shut and the panel falls down. Oh. So, yeah, that's changed our hotel tactics for future trips. Everything's going to have a proper underground car park.
Yeah. What I will say here, folks, is Dale got his bike back. It's recovered. They're still trying to fix it now because there's a few issues with it. But he got it back because he had a tracker on his bike. So I tell you what, it is the best advert I've ever seen for a tracker. Brilliant. Yeah. Literally, the second it started moving, because it was about 1:30 in the morning, I think, they were trying to contact Dale to say, your bike is moving. We think it's stolen. Let us know. So they tracked the bike, and eventually, once they got back in touch with Dale, I think they had liaised with the police, or anyway, the police knew about it. They were on the case, and they managed to give the police the last location of the bike. The end result of that, 24 hours later or 12 hours later, whatever it is, the police are sat there watching the place, and they catch a guy coming back to get the bikes, and they managed to recover Dale's bike as well as some others as well. So it was great job all round. So get a tracker. If you've got a GS, certainly a 1300, I'll be amazed if your insurance company will insure you without a tracker. I had to have one. It was a condition of getting insurance. So it's worth it, folks. Okay, how about Rum Powered Biker? How about a second Portugal tour? I couldn't get on the 2026 tour. It's all about timings, really, though, isn't it? It's we're already away. Basically, once we start, we're away every 3 weeks. till we stop mid-October. We'd both love to do more, but we both have other halves who, for whatever reason, occasionally like to spend some time with us. And it's not fair for me on my side. When I'm away, my wife has sole responsibility for the dog. The cats do their own thing, but the dog has to be walked twice a day. The dog's a little bit temperamental and it likes company. It's not very good sometimes with other dogs and people, so she can be a bit of a handful when you're out walking. And I can't leave my wife any longer than I currently do. It's not right. It's not fair. Plus, when I'm away, my wife has to work from home. So it's not fair for the other people in her office that have to cover her when she's working from home. Do you know what I mean? Because they share the working from home sort of rota where she works. So it's just not really possible for me at the moment to do any more than we're actually doing. We're doing more next year, aren't we? Because we're starting in Australia. So that we're starting in mid-Feb. So
got an extra one, which... if you want to go to Portugal, all of them, there is a version of the tour on my website.
SimonWeir.co.uk.
Exactly, that's the one. So, you can do it as a self-guide, dead easy. And you can expand it and put more into it as well, depending on your ferry schedule. But it would be nice to do more. I think we're very lucky that we have such a loyal group of customers who come back again and again, so that most trips it is increasingly like going for a normal trip with a bunch of your mates that you don't have to be paid by. Normally I'd be paying people like that to be my friends. I find it very kind that you pay to come out with us. It would be lovely to do more, but it's just time-wise, it's not practical, unfortunately. I thought week on, week off would be fine, but apparently not.
Do you not find it tiring? I never used to find touring tiring, but at the end of a tour, I'm like, I definitely am looking forward to being home for a week or two now, and just I think I need at least 2 weeks in between the tours.
Yeah, I need 2 weeks between tours to stay on top of everything else, but I'm never happier than when I'm on the bike. And I could happily get on the bike and just ride non-stop, but that's maybe just me.
Obviously, yeah, absolutely. But for me, I've got this business. I've got the TeapotOne business to run as well as ChickenStrips. And I've really struggled this year to I couldn't do the podcast alongside it, and the editing of just the videos. I just got swamped with it all, really. So hopefully this thing with Rich will work out with the editor, and that at least takes that pressure off, and start juggling a few more balls, so to speak, for next year. But this year's been tough business wise, trying to keep the two different things running. At least definitely. Two.
Yeah, it's very hard. So if we look at the question that's on the screen, Creve Cloverleaf, I haven't done that precise route. I've ridden all the roads that make up the routes, not necessarily in those combinations, but they look like fine routes. I personally don't like that kind of style of touring, because
staying in one location.
Yeah, because you end up riding the same roads again and again. I don't mind going for 2 nights to do a loop. Sometimes you can stay for 3 nights and get 2 good loops that are distinct and still have good roads in and out. But I would, rather than just, there are pluses to staying in one place and getting to know it a bit better. If you can do that without repetition, that's great. But I would, rather than end up sort of riding, half of those roads are the roads we rode 2 days ago, I'd rather move on to somewhere else and see more. You always see more. The further you go, the more you see. I think the variety is as important. I think part of this is comes down to your packing discipline, because sometimes, oh, just get everything off the bike. It's a real pain to get it back on. I'll take one bag into the hotel, one bag back to the bike. If you can strip it down to that, then it's no bother. It's when you're carrying a million things and dropping stuff over the car parks and you're laden down, then I understand it's a real pain. But don't change the way you tour, change the way you pack.
But then, you know, we tour for a living now and have a lot of experience of it. Some people, you know, that tour that they do, that's their bike trip for the year. Some people, that's their bike trip for a few, you know, might be their only bike trip. You never know. So, and I definitely understand why some people just like to get to a hotel, dump all their crap off, so they're just riding on the bike. And I think for some people, it's less pressure because once they've spent the night in a hotel, they know what the hotel's like. They know what the food's like. It's like, that's my little home now for the tour. So I get that. I understand that. But I'm definitely like you, Si. I like that feeling of moving. That's why I love the Picos so much, because it feels like I'm really transiting through like that area of the country. I love it. And you're a different place every night. I like that. Other people don't, though. I do get that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it. I just think that, especially if it is going to be, the one trip of the year or one trip every 2 or 3 years, you see more. You know, make the most of it.
Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, it's tricky with Scotland particularly because, to be honest, that's an underrated area, Crieff on the edge of. What are those hills between there and Scotland called, where Knockhill is? All that stuff. That's all really good. You don't get too many people doing that. You get to take a bit of the Cairngorms, get to go up towards Fort Bill or that way. That's all really good riding. It's not just going up to the North Coast 500 and following a Dutch camper van. So it's a really good thing to do. But you can't get to Skye from there, and I think that.
You could. You're going to have to get a lick on, but you can.
Yeah. But,
I'll interject there and qualify that, Si. You are 100% right. If you're based in one location, that sort of Crieff area, that's kind of near where my brother lives, and I had to go and collect my son, and he lives in an island called Rassay, which is just off of Skye. And then I had to bring him back to where my dad lives, which is near my brother's, near Crieff. That's a whole day. It's like a 5 and a bit hour journey each way. So you could get to Skye, but you're not going to do much once you get there. and get back. Yeah. And
it's just transit.
Yeah, it is.
Which is fine because there's good roads to transit on. But
But as Si says, though, Dave, that Crieff Cloverleaf package, the route itself is a lovely thing to do for sure. If you've never done Scotland before, do that. But it's like the North Coast 500. North Coast 500 is lovely, but there's loads more to Scotland. And same with the Crieff Cloverleaf. Encompass that as part of your exploration of Scotland. There's so much more to see for sure. Yeah. But I think I don't know why the Cloverleaf's never really taken off the way the 500 has. Is it because it's not got that big epic scenery up the top and up the west, maybe? Do you think that's why it is?
No, I think it's just that it hasn't got the same kind of macho appeal of it's the 500. Can you do it in a day? Do you do it over 2 days? Do you do it over 3 days? Because it's a bit less potentially demanding. And therefore, for a lot of people, that element of challenge, I think, is part of it. You go and have an adventure is something that's going to take you just a bit past your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Whereas I think that, the promise there is that it will all be nicely within your comfort zone. So that's great. But for the guys that want to push themselves a bit, maybe it doesn't pick up on it.
Yeah. Definitely. I think it's amazing the amount of people who've never been, they've never done Scotland. And I think for a lot of people, they just seem to have this mental block. It's too far. It's too big a journey to get up there. Even from down here in the southeast, you know, 6 to 8 hours, I suppose. Nice, easy, leisurely motorway ride up there. I've done one of your routes. I took your routes and sort of bastardized a non-motorway route all the way up the east of England into Scotland. And I got to like my dad's near Crieff in, I think, 9.5 hours. That was it. And I was up there. And it was an amazing ride. It was an amazing ride. I had such a giggle on it. Great fun. So you can do it. And yeah, I thoroughly recommend it, folks. Head up there, enjoy it, explore. It's definitely better than Wales. Definitely. Stand back and watch.
It's bigger scenery. Do you think the UK is becoming anti-bike?
Yeah, Dazador 45. The UK is becoming anti-bike, or is it just overcrowded?
I mean, look, there's twice as much traffic on the roads as there was in the 80s. So if you're kind of comparing it to then, the roads feel busier. I don't think it's anti-bike, but I think standards of driving generally are not what they used to be. I think people are less considerate and more aggressive, and there are more fast cars. You know, the differential between a bike and a car used to be huge, but now there are so many big high performance things that if they want to be a pain in the arse, they can be a pain in the arse. So I don't think it's anti-bike per se, because you get bad aggressive drivers driving in a bad and aggressive way towards other cars as well as bikes. I would say generally things like hotels and stuff are probably more bike friendly than they've ever been. I remember 80s and 90s, we're trying to book a campsite for someone, so we don't have bikers here. Hotels that were pubs that oh no, we can't have bikers staying in them. You don't get that anymore. Everyone's happy to see you, take your money.
I notice it like from the admin side of things when I'm booking the hotels. When you make inquiries with a hotel, sometimes even if you've been there before, I have an email footer for ChickenStrips, European motorcycle tours. And then when you contact them and say, have you got room for one night for 15 rooms, all single occupancy? The first question they'll ask is, what's the event? What is it you're for? What is it? And they say, oh, don't worry, it's just a motorcycle tour. I think they think some Hell's Angels are going to turn up, and I'm like, no, they're all ex-retired accountants. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's no problem. So there is still that. It's what we spoke about it on the Corsica tour, didn't we? Coming down through France, because you really notice it when you travel across European countries. There's just nowhere near the congestion on the roads or the sheer volume of people. It's like you go through places and they just look deserted. And then we started chatting about it. France has, is it 80 million people? And it's three times the landmass of the UK.
Yeah. So but I mean, we do pick and choose the places we go to. So if we were to go through northern Belgium, northern Germany, it's a very different impression, because northern Belgium, a lot of Belgium is quite busy. The north of it is absolutely rammed. And if you get the ferry to Amsterdam or Rotterdam and you get off and you're trying to get across those big flat bits surrounded by cities, it's chaos. It's absolutely solid.
Yeah, but I can travel. You can travel the length of England on, say, the M6 motorway or the M1, A1, something like that, and you're constantly surrounded by traffic.
Yeah,
it might not be gridlocked, but there is always traffic round about you. You can do the same thing in places like Spain or France, particularly France. You can be on their motorways, which are generally always just dual carriageway, aren't they? They've got very good lane discipline. They all stick to the left unless they're overtaking. But it's just not that. Just the sheer volume of traffic is nowhere near as dense as it is in the UK. There's too much traffic. There's too many people. Bugger off.
And I think that's one of the reasons why there's more bad driving, because everyone gets behind the wheel and gets frustrated.
Yeah.
And so I think that's common thing, especially as the roads are falling apart as well. That doesn't help.
Let's not get political. Jesus, especially not at the moment. Oh my God. Right. Sam Erie, good plug site. That's because you mentioned
Conquerors, yes.
Conquerors Motorcycle Apparel for all your motorcycle needs.
Yeah.
What else do we have here?
Suck up.
Gravy Davy Rides. Did you ever think about a ChickenStrips tour of Morocco? Yes, we did. We did chat about it initially. My issue is, obviously, my mate Lyndon owns Toro Adventure, who I've done Morocco with many times now. I don't want to pee on his chips. I know he wouldn't take any offence to that. I know, but I just kind of think it's same as like Canaries. I would love to take people to the Canaries, but Canary motorcycle tours, that's their baby. I don't want to pee on their chips. So it's, there's plenty of places to tour in. I think they do a good deal. Leave it to them. They have that. That's their thing.
Yeah, exactly. The only experience I have of Morocco is doing with Globebusters, and the same thing. That's what they do. They've got much more experience of it than me. I'm not going to rip them off by nicking their routes, their information, and they will do it better. Craig, who was the other guide when I was there, he's been touring not just Morocco but all of West Africa and all over the place since the early 90s. I've been there once. Who do you want to go with? Go with the guy that knows it like the back of his hand.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
But what I would say, particularly about Morocco, though, folks, is if you've got the inclination to go, if you're the type of person that wouldn't normally go with a tour company, it's not your thing, but you're a little bit reticent about going to somewhere like Morocco, go for it. It is the easiest country in Africa to tour in. It really is. It's got a sort of European feel to it, but most definitely you're outside of Europe. That is the little taste of the overland sort of environment, the overland world, that sort of travel that awaits you as you head down through Africa. The people are lovely. It is safe. It's an easy place to tour in. The roads are great. Scenery is amazing. Go.
Yeah, and the other plus is, you don't need to know Arabic, because it was a French dependency for donkey's years. French was always the official language.
Yeah.
So if you speak a bit of schoolboy French, you'll probably get by. Obviously, the French have upset the king, so now the official language is English. So they're all learning that as well. So it's a really safe, easy way to dip your toe into those waters.
It is, and you will come back with memories. It's a great place. Mark Lee 2618. Does it ever cease to amaze you the generosity and friendliness of the people you meet on your travels? No. It is. What's the word? It's great for the soul. For me personally, I love being away and traveling and meeting new people, because it does sort of refresh your soul, in a sort of hippie way. I very quickly, when I'm sat here at home and you're looking on your phone, especially at the moment, you can descend into this pit of the country's fucked, the world's fucked, people are all knuts. I hate everyone. I'm not interested. Once you start traveling and you just meet normal people that are just getting on with their lives, it's just really nice and refreshing. You forget. Well, it's not that you forget. All the bollocks that we're fed, you realise is bollocks, and people are just people wherever you go. Whoever they worship, whatever language they speak, they're just people. They're generally decent, normal people.
Yeah, it's the one catch with doing the group stuff, because when you're in the group, you're with the group, and your interactions with the rest of the world are much more limited. It's when you're traveling solo, then you really get to, because you're shy for the first 2 days, I think. Then after that, you work out you have to talk to people, otherwise you'll go stir crazy. So it's fantastic. That's the big plus of traveling solo, is you really see the cultures.
Even in the big group, though, we've had it, haven't we? Like the Dave situation, prime example. Okay, Dave eventually, not the way we work things is Si's always leading, and my job is basically to be a bit of a sheepdog and, keep the group connected as much as possible. And if anything happens along the way, breakdowns, kit falls off of bikes, punctures, that sort of stuff, I deal with it. You know what I mean? It's like Si can just concentrate and get the rest of the group carry on. I deal with whatever's going on. So with the Dave situation, once we ascertained, right, there's no other option here other than you're screwed now. You're going to have to get recovered. Once that decision's made, it's a case of, right, he's safe. He knows where he needs to go to find a hotel. That's all. There's nothing else I can do here. I have to keep moving. So Dave's left on his own then. And look, in that situation, the lady from the calf, has come over, and I think he literally was on the phone to the recovery people and couldn't really understand what they were saying. So he went into the calf to see if anyone spoke English, and the lady did. And then from that, he's then invited to stay with her and her family, and that took him on a whole different journey. Duncan, remember Duncan? Was that Portugal?
Portugal got the puncture, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, the big puncture, and I couldn't repair it roadside. It was a big. You could get your thumb in it or my pinky in it. But we managed to get to a calf where Si and the rest of the group were, and there was a lady there that happened to be the local English teacher. She was just in the calf having a coffee. So and we got chatting with her. She knew a guy that had a tyre garage that could patch the tyre for us, and she translated for us once we found a place about 100 kilometres away that had a tyre. She translated and sorted that out for us. So it's good, isn't it? You still... Oh, sorry, let me mute. I just muted your mic there, sorry.
There's a button here. I could use to do that.
He's back.
Technology.
Granddads with technology, eh? Never mind. I include myself in that side. Yeah, so you still notice it. Even when you're away on a big tour, you still have these interactions with people, and it's great. I love it. It's all part of travel for me.
Yeah.
What else have we got here? What's Steve say? Steve Bolton. It's the piss taking that helps us keep coming back. Good. Cheers, Steve. That's kind of the environment that we want, isn't it? We don't want to be like a stuffy tour company where everyone's minding their P's and Q's. We want people to have a good time and relax. We don't want people to, you're not going to tolerate bullying and all that sort of stuff, but we're all generally all grown men. Very rarely do we get any women that come along here, and they tend to have bigger bollocks than we do, to be honest. When the ones that come away, they can certainly handle themselves, for sure. Out having a good giggle, having a laugh.
It's meant to be a holiday,
it seems
isn't
to
it?
work.
Ultimately, it's meant to be fun.
Yeah.
So, if you're not enjoying it, we're not doing it right. So.
Yeah, exactly. What we got here? Jamie, I'm excited for the 26th Northern Ireland clan meet. Yes, yeah, me too. Davey's organising that, actually. Gravy Davey, he's taking on the mantle for that one. So with the clan, anyone that's not in the know, if you're watching the live stream at the moment, obviously you can't comment. It's only those in the clan that can comment. The clan's basically my following over on following. That sounds really wanky. Don't mean it to. But the Patreon side of things, patreon.com/TeapotOne. So we do some meetups through the year, normally about 3 meetups a year, where someone just takes the mantle and says, right, I want to organise the next one. And then they pick where we're going. They sort a route out. We descend on a hotel in that area. And that's it. We have a weekend away and shits and giggles. It's great fun. So we're off to Northern Ireland middle of next year. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's going to be quite a tough one to fit in with the trips, because I will probably come to that, because Tony is riding all 100 routes from Britain for bikers. Mm-hmm. And obviously there's half a dozen island routes there that he's got to tick off. So the theory is I'll join him for that bit if I can fit it in.
Oh, happy days. Nice one. Have you booked your hotel room?
No, I haven't done anything yet.
Yeah, all right. I'll send you the details after this. You want to get that booked ASAP because they fill up quick.
Yeah, the timing of it isn't great with some other stuff, but I'll juggle.
Cool. All right, no worries. The Groltons, if you had to tour in only one country in Europe, which would it be and why?
France is the biggest country. There's the most there, most sea, most landscapes, worst coffee, kind of everything. It's tough between that and Spain. But I think, the Alps, the Pyrenees, the Massif Central, the Morvan, the Vosges, Jura, Corsica. That counts. That's still French at the moment. They don't want to be. But, even Brittany's good. Bits of Normandy are great. There are some big flat bits, the Loire and Lorette and down by Bordeaux. Some of that's quite flat, but it's huge. I mean, look at it; it's bloody massive.
Yeah. My instant thought was, no, it's Spain for me. But what you just said there, that there's definitely more variety in France, isn't there?
Yeah.
There definitely is more variety, but it's more expensive. It's noticeably more expensive than Spain. So the Scots in me comes out, and I'm like, if I just stay in Spain, it's going to be better weather as well in Spain. So,
sorry, I was just in the local.
Yeah.
You're worried about the weather, drive a car,
Valid point.
Right. I mean, there is a lot of variety in Spain as well. Andalusia is off the charts good. Some great stuff in the middle as well. Proper deserts. It just doesn't have the Alps. It's got some mountains, but hasn't got the really big stuff.
Sorry, mate. I was reading through questions there, so just to see what was going on. Apologies. That's why I went. I'm a bloke. I can't do more than one thing at once. Gravy Davy writes, just on the background props. Any chance Simon could give us a tune while Bruce wears his riot lid?
It would be like that episode of The Young Ones with Motorhead.
Oh, oh, you noticed that? Yeah. See, that's my old lid from a previous life. Seen some action that has. So you're going to give us a little. You're going to give us a little tune.
Not at this time at night. It'd be far too loud. Well, I can pick it up, but you won't hear it because obviously it's not plugged in. If I plug it in, that's quite loud.
Oh, okay. Right, no worries. Dazadov just said, Bruce, the video streaming is buffering, breaking up, and the audio and video currently. Is that still the case, folks? Is your video and audio okay? I'll see what people say. Hang on.
Well, that would only enhance my musical talent.
It's okay now. All right, so it was a bit ropey. Sorry about that. I've got Starlink here, but it's not the fantastic speeds that they advertise. Although I'm in the southeast of England, 40 miles from bloody London, I seem to be in some sort of internet black spot where even Starlink struggles. It's crazy. But sorry about that. Sorry, folks. Right, I think we've gone through all the questions for the moment. Yeah. Well, what have we not covered there, mate? Because we've just been going through questions mostly.
Yeah, that's always the best bit, isn't it? I mean, this year, obviously, I was on the range of toys from Kawasaki.
Mm-hmm.
You had the Vosges. I've had the 1100 SX, which is fabulous. I've had the Versys 1100, which is very good, probably the best. That's the bike that makes the most sense. Love the SX. And the H2, which is just the most fun thing in the world, but it's £25,000, so therefore I keep looking back at the 1100. I mean, the supercharger on that H2 it's unreal. Every time I ride it, your brain says, why do you need to supercharge a motorbike? And then you ride it, that's why. It's unbelievably good. Requires a fair bit of self-control.
Yeah, but I mean, you can say that about just about any of the big modern bikes, though, can't you? You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the tractor's got 1300cc engine in it. You know, like 145 brake horsepower or whatever it is.
yeah.
I can't remember how much it is. But do you need that? No, of course you don't. But do you want it? Absolutely. If it's available, yeah, it's fun. It's great fun. Like for you though, in the touring world that we live in, why is the H2 so much fun in that environment? Like, what makes it?
It's none of those big bikes are about peak speed. They're about the little moments of acceleration.
Yeah.
And that thing accelerates like science fiction. You open the throttle, and it is like you're sat there in the control seat in the Millennium Falcon, and the little lines streak for a second, and then it goes boom, and any overtake is,
On.
and there is no gap too small. It's it's fairly comfortable. I mean, with the bad leg, I was having to put the side stand down with my hand at some points. But yeah, it shouldn't work, but it does, which I think is one of the things I like about it. It's so over the top, but it's so good. The Versus is much more practical than either of the other two. The SX is a better balance, I think. And also for me, the handling is better on the 1100 SX.
Yeah, the SX. That was your bike, wasn't that? Is the one you own? You've got the SX, haven't you?
Mine's the 1000.
Yeah.
This is the new 1100.
Gotcha.
Which,
so, are there any whispers about what they're going to line up for you next year?
We need to have a discussion. There's a question there. Yeah, exactly. The promoter, this question there from Daz. I saw the promoter at the show, and it's an H2 powered versus style thing. It's got a girder front end like the old Tessie, so it will handle well, but it'll be won't give you the same kind of feel as conventional forks.
Yeah.
And it's quite expensive because it's mostly made of carbon and magic. So it's £34,000, I believe. So it is a thing of beauty.
Well, 34 grand.
Yeah.
Good God.
It's multi-strada RS kind of territory. Hand built in Italy by men who drink a lot of espresso and know how to make carbon look pretty. But with that amazing engine. So I doubt I'll persuade them to give me one of those. I would love it. Craig, if you're watching, I would love to do that. But
what do you... So to interrupt, apologies, sorry. It just got me thinking there when we were talking about that price, £34,000. And there's, obviously Ducatis, their RS range are all up there in the 30s. The Goldwings up in the 30s. The GS and GSAs, they're all nudging mid-20s now.
Yeah, and the M series are expensive, aren't they?
Yeah, so. Yeah. That's so. If they bring out this rumored M1300 GS, which allegedly is possibly coming, I've no doubt that is going to be 25, 26. I think it'll be pushed up there somewhere. Yeah, we'll see.
28, 30.
You look at that end of the spectrum, and then you look at this massive influx at the moment of Chinese bikes at the 7.5 to 8.5 grand mark, 1,000cc bikes, which are more than capable. I've taken a couple away on the tours, and it's not like everyone left me in the dust. These things will compete no problem with them. And then you look at Honda. Honda are smashing it out the park at the moment with really well budgeted premium machines. What do you think? Where do you think this is going?
I think it is very much a two-speed market, but I think it's becoming like the car market, where you have the luxury brands, and then you have the everyday brands.
Yeah.
And the challenge for the established brands is, where do they sit? Do they stay in the affordable, or do they go into the luxury? Which is, I guess, what Kawasaki have done with the motor. They've still got the kind of the Ford Focus kind of everyday family budget kind of vehicles, but they've bolted on the luxury brand with the motor, which I think is quite a smart thing to do. It's Honda have managed to do it with the Goldwing, but you can't see them having a range of bikes in that price range. They know what their market is. Reliable bikes at sensible prices. Same as I think all the Japanese see themselves in those terms, and the Europeans are definitely going, well, no, we're the premium, we're the luxury. So I think the European bikes will continue to get more expensive.
Yeah.
And the Chinese are going to put more and more pressure on the Japanese to make, deliver more for less.
Yes. Yeah. That's my, well, I mean, it's plainly what is going to happen. That is just the Chinese business model, isn't it? The manufacturers in China are being heavily, heavily subsidized by the Chinese government, which allows them to produce these very, very well constructed and equipped bikes for, practically no money, 7.5 to 8.5 grand. I know it's still 7.5 to 8.5 grand, but that is not a lot of money when you look at the competition. Most of the competition is at least sort of 13, 14 grand up. And you're not going to get a bike equipped the way these Chinese bikes are for that 13, 14 grand, I don't think. It's going to be a budget end anyway that you're going to get. Yeah. My concern is exactly what you just said, in that the middle of the ground manufacturers out there, the established ones, they are going to be faced with this choice that you just spoke about. Do they upscale and try and push for the exotic high-end market with the likes of your Beamers and your Ducatis and everybody like that? Or do they really try and cut all costs that they can and bring their prices down? And what will happen is that inevitably some of these manufacturers just aren't going to be able to compete. So they're either going to go under, or they're going to stop motorcycle production. So at the end of the day, as consumers, we're going to end up with, you either go for the Chinese market or you're spending a lot of money. That middle ground will, certainly initially, I think, will disappear. I think at some point people will backfill, but I think that's kind of
I think it'll just reduce. So look at the size of the range, though. I mean, Suzuki, they have been managing their range downwards. But I mean, at one point, I mean, this is probably sort of 20 teens, the 2012, 2015-ish. They had something like 9 different 600cc road bikes. GSXR, GSR, Bandit, V-Strom. They had this vast range of bikes. They've got 3 now. That makes much more sense. So I think that there will be rationalization, which, as long as the standards are maintained of production, that's good. I mean, as long as there's innovation. What I found interesting at the NEC this year was the people on the Chinese bike stands. Because I remember 4 or 5 years ago, they'd be there and tumbleweed. Men in company shirts with no one to talk to. The stands were busy, and not busy with people who looked like they didn't really know anything about bikes. There were stands full of people who had the kind of the age and the scars and the tattoos that suggest they've been around bikes for a long time. They know what they're looking at. That's quite a change over quite a short period. I would say probably 5 or 6 years. They've gone from being to actually being quite a serious choice for a lot of people. Partly, obviously, because we're all a bit more skint than we used to be, but partly because the products are better.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't blame people. You know, like if you're being offered ultimately the same product, but one product is 10 quid and the other product's £1.50, you're going to go for the £1.50. You can't blame people for doing that, can you? Because
I mean,
even if the £1.50 doesn't taste as good as the 10 quid or doesn't last as long as the 10 quid, you can have, pardon my maths, 6, 7 of the £1.50s before you've,
yeah.
for the same
Well,
cost of one £10.
with bikes, there are two great examples of why that isn't always true. One of which obviously is the GS. Yeah. How many other adventure bikes have come at whatever price, and the GS is still there as the iceberg that the others break themselves on. And the other one is the Harleys. How many much less expensive, probably much more capable cruiser style motorbikes are there out there that sell in tiny numbers compared to Harley Davidsons? Yeah, in that market they are vast, not because of the quality of the engineering, and definitely not because of the price. They exist because they are Harleys, and if you want a Harley, you don't want the more affordable version.
Yeah, true.
There were, and it's an unfortunate name, the Bender motorcycles.
I hear Rich has got one at the moment, hasn't he? Richie Vida,
Yeah,
or he's had one.
Some tidy looking sort of bobber type cruisers. They look well screwed together. On paper, they look great, and they're cheap. Compared to a Harley, they're never going to take sales away from Harley.
No,
because they're not a Harley.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, you buy into the brand, don't you? For sure. You know, I'm like that with the BMWs. You know, I've never hidden the fact that I know KTM's the bike for me. That Super Adventure S is the bike for me, or the Super Duke R. That is my bike. But I will not get the same level of customer care that I will get from the BMW package. And I'm not bought and paid for by BMW. I've got no affiliation whatsoever. I've just found a dealership that I like and I get the customer service from that I like. And I don't have that available to me anywhere local for KTM. So, it's why I stick with BMW. Because in our game, touring, I mean, the difference between if we have an issue with somebody and they are on a BMW, as opposed to somebody that has an issue on any other bike, the BMW, it's a phone call, no problem, sir, we'll get that sorted. Somebody turns up and it's all taken care of. Other bikes, nope, you're on your own. Sorry. It's literally like that sometimes.
Yeah. It's. I think some of the other manufacturers are getting better, but it's a different culture, and I think that comes from the high-end car side of things, doesn't it? With BMW, they're used to dealing with legions of people who spent a lot of money on their 5 and 7 series cars. So they've learned how to look after their customers.
Yeah. And I think that's definitely something which, from a brand perspective, probably wasn't top of the list. I think originally in the motorcycle sector, was it? There was definitely a difference between the car side of things and the motorcycle side of things. And you definitely see that with BMW, in that BMW I think some of their franchises, if they start doing bike stuff, they try to run the bike stuff like the car side of things works.
Yeah.
But you really notice it when like a manager takes over the Motorrad side of things and goes, no. The bike world is not the car world. We will, like as bikers, I turn up at my dealership and, they'll call me a fister and leave a little picture of the middle finger somewhere on my bike. I love all that. I love the banter. You don't do that in the car world. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a definite difference between the two, for sure. Pete Rides, 2025 favourite gadget on tour, or the gadget you couldn't do without. Bruce, anything but the MFL butt plug. Favourite gadget on tour?
Well, I've switched sat-nav this season. So I've gone to the wireless charging quad lock using an old phone. And, it's there are limitations with all sat navs, but it's annoyed me less than the TomTom was last year, and definitely less than the XT was. The Garmin, just that wound me up, which after 20 plus years of being a Garmin evangelist is quite an admission, but the XT just frustrated me.
So which one are you? Are you still using Scenic or are you MRA? Which one are you on?
I'm tending to use MRA. I prefer some aspects of Scenic, but on one trip it was quite unstable. Every time we stopped, it crashed and I had to restart the whole thing, which is just a pain. Whereas MRA didn't fall over at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been using that.
Yeah, I'm a great evangelicist for Kali Moto. Obviously, the sponsor TeapotOne channel, but I love it. But I know a lot of people don't. Something which we've figured out is obviously for our tour, Simon creates GPX files for the route. You can't just import them into Kali Moto. It doesn't work that way because I think almost every other route package out there, when you create a route, there is a finite amount of waypoints that you can use, and is it something like 40 waypoints that you can have?
No, there's well, there are two kinds of points when you're doing with most things. You have fixed points and soft points, and most of them, the most limited is the TomTom, which has in theory, it will let you do 50 on the device, but if you're going to sync it through the website, the website has a limit of 30 points. So that's the most limited.
Right.
Garmin's normally it's 50 hard points and any number of shaping points.
Right. Okay. So when Simon creates a route, he's using a combination of waypoints and like shaping points and things like that. Kali Moto only recognizes waypoints. So when you import a GPX file in, it's only looking at those designated waypoints. It's not looking at anything else. So what I'm going to have to do a vid on this for customers that come on. So basically when Sai's done the route, I bring that into Kali Moto, and then I have to go through the tour pack and drop waypoints at, every bit to force it to take Simon's route. But once you've done that, it works brilliantly. But there's always there's just little things that you need to know. There doesn't seem to be.
Is a preserve routing button. If you use because you do it all on your phone, don't you?
Yeah.
If you do it on the browser, because there's a browser version of Kalimoto, you'll
not
open the
anymore.
route.
You don't get that green. You don't get the green thing anymore. I tried it and you don't get it anymore. I was gutted.
Because that used to show you the routes, and then it would show you how it subverted it, and all you have to do is just go through and manage the route until the red line covered the green.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I interrupted there before you. Could you tell people what that was?
Oh, it was it showed that it knew what the route was meant to be, because you opened it on the browser and it would show you the red route, which is what would appear on the phone, and the green route, which is the route it's imported, and they never matched because Kalimoto missions to make everything twistier, but when the route's already planned to be twisty enough, making it twistier just detonates it. So all they need is just to put in a preserve routing function.
Yeah, I'll actually speak with them about that, because I noticed I was planning this actual vid, this one about importing things and for ChickenStrips. Yeah. And I noticed on the web browser version that the green line wasn't coming up anymore. So I wanted to speak with Kali about that. That's a great idea, a preserve route function on it.
I mean, the key thing is, if it's a GPX file, that means the route's been planned. Yeah. It doesn't need it to make its own calculations.
But all of them do that though, because they'll all plot the route between.
Interpret them a little bit differently, but
depending on your routing structure.
Yeah, normally not at all. It's very rare. It's only if the map is different. Sometimes, it'll go point there. It'll go, oh no, other side of the dual carriageway. Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah, but I think with Kali Moto, all their energy is going towards Android Auto at the moment. That is proving to be a massive nightmare for them. So we'll see. What other gadgets? Favorite gadget for me? Do you know what I think has been very useful this year in particular is just like a little portable compressor. That has been so handy when we've been away on the tours. Just the ability to, you don't have to hunt for a garage and find one that's got air somewhere. Just, there's normally a couple of us on the tours that have got one of these compressors, and you can just, people always pick up punctures all the time. So if it's a slow puncture, every time you stop, you can stop for a bit of splosh, just whack a bit of air in and, keep people moving until they get, say the hotel for the evening and find a garage or something. It's just been really handy, really handy. Definitely if you're touring, invest in one. They're not expensive.
I love is I have one of those Chili's 500 litre cold bottles. And I haven't always had space for it this year with the smaller luggage load. But I love that just because, especially riding solo, just stop, take a picture, mouthful of water, carry on. And it keeps the water cold all day. It's great stuff. Brilliant thing.
He should ride a BMW, shouldn't he? You should be riding a BMW with an attitude like that. Oh, I say it terribly. What? Have a man beside you, keeping everything cool. Girltons. Rebikes from China. Simon Hargreaves said the issue was the lack of rider testing to support the development. It means that they are more disposable rather than adaptable. What do you think? Ooh.
I haven't ridden enough of the bikes to know. I would definitely take Si's opinion for that. He is still testing everything. The few that I've had a poke around, they now seem to come with, or the adjusters. The question is, do the adjusters actually do anything? The number of them that you can twiddle and makes no bloody difference. Whereas some things you can set the suspension up, transforms the bike, and some things you can work with it until you're blue in the face, makes no bloody difference. It's always tricky with these things because you don't want to single out a bike that someone owns, but there are certain models that no matter what you do, they will never steer properly. They're just fundamentally not right, and all the adjusters are just to keep you occupied. They don't make a difference. And I would imagine, this early stage of the Chinese bike industry, there'll be a lot of that going on. Well, we've got to put an adjuster on because they want it. Won't do anything. But,
do you want me to mute so you can have a good cough? Right, I've muted it. Right, there we go. Give me the thumbs up when you're ready to go, Si. I kind of think a lot of the time as well, though, as bikers, I think half the time most of us don't even know what most of these adjusters do. How many people have got an adjustable rear shock and never touch the thing, or adjustable front suspension and never adjust it? Foot pegs, seat height. How many people actually fiddle about with stuff? I don't think there's that many really out there, to be honest. People just moan about a bike, or maybe they don't even notice.
I know people that have ridden even, BMWs with ESA, and it's just presses a button. Never changed it. Came out the shop like that. Must be fine.
Yeah.
It's adjustable for a reason. And certainly if you're, how can I put it, a larger gentleman, it's more important.
Properly sized, you mean? Properly sized.
A fully grown human. I used to, on launches, there'd be all the bikes lined up, and because I'm 6'5", I'd wander down the line with a little pocket-sized mechanic and go, "What weight is the shock set for?" They say, 80 kilo rider. I'm 105 kilos in kit. Shall we adjust the preload? Have you got a spanner? Do you want to try
105? Yeah, come on, Simon. Let's be honest here.
Now I'm much worse. Yeah.
I was going to say, I'm 126, I think I am. Jeez.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll mute him. Oh no, he's back.
But no, I'm slender and slim and
Yeah.
malnourished. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the word that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Right, dude. That is 1 hour 50 minutes. I reckon knock it on the head for 2 hours. So next year, 2026.
Yes. What
What are you most looking forward to for 2026 then with the tours?
And obviously Oz. That'll be epic. Not just the riding, all of the stuff that goes with it, especially taking because some of the guys coming with us haven't been to Australia before, so I'm going to enjoy that very much. Principally, I'm looking forward to the final night because we'll do a pub crawl through my brother lives just where we're basing ourselves for the start and finish of the trip, and just behind his house there are 9 microbreweries, all of which have bars. It'll be fun.
I'm so glad my flight is until 8 p.m. the following day.
But that'll be good. I'm really looking forward to the ride back trip, and I'm looking forward to Corsica again. That's going to be awesome. This year's Corsica was great. Learned a few things from that, which will make next year's Corsica trip even better.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to get. Well, hopefully Rich is going to edit it, but even if it's me, I can't wait to get the end result. The videos done for Corsica to let people see, because it is wow. It's just it's hard to put into words. It's just watch the Canary vids, and then I hate to say it because they're a sponsor, but it turns it to 11. It's just crazy, absolutely crazy.
It's the only place I've ever been there where someone has stolen a lake. We got to. We'll stop at the top for a picture with this lovely reservoir guys got there. Someone's taken it. All the water is gone. Just a big brown hole in the floor. So
yeah, special place. Definitely worth the jaunt down there, folks, for sure. Just do it. Definitely do it. Yeah, I've got to say, I'm definitely looking forward to Australia. I'm looking forward to going back to the Picos. I used to do the Picos 2-3 times a year, and I kind of miss it. So we've got Picos in April, isn't it? Ultimate Picos.
May.
Is it May? What's
May?
the first one we're doing then?
Portugal.
Has Portugal first? Well, it's Portugal and a bit of the Picos, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to cross the Picos to get to Portugal.
That's right. Yeah, we were going to be doing a Portugal fly ride, weren't we? But it just financially just didn't work out, for what would end up being 3 days riding, I think, or 4 days riding. It was a daft amount of money to include the bike hire and everything, and it was just...
I've seen 5 or 6 other people's versions of that. Same package. 3 days on the bike, 5 days, day of travel.
Yeah.
Ride bikes, day of travel. All £300 to £400 more than we were looking at. So when we go, that's far too expensive. Maybe we should have been brave. I don't know.
It just, I don't know, mate. I like where we're positioned in the market, in that I personally think we're offering top tier value, but we're not charging top tier prices. And I think that the amount of repeat custom we get reflects that, I think, and that people enjoy when they come away, and we're attracting a lot of new people as well. It's a nice balance. So I'm happy with that.
We can't fit more people on, but there you go.
Yeah. So. But then, 15 people.
We couldn't do a bigger group. It'd be unmanageable.
Yeah. No, 15's a nice number, isn't it? It works well. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Cool. Right. Well, I would say we're done then, mate.
Yeah. No, thanks everyone for tuning in, giving us the questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Cheers, folks. Hope you've enjoyed this. Obviously, normally the Bru Time doesn't go out live like this, but we thought, why not? I've got this new StreamYard thing, so I thought let's give it a bash and see. Following on from this with Bru Time, I'm not going to be in a position to be doing this weekly yet. It's going to be the new year. It's going to be January onwards. I want to build up a nice little bank of guests that are all booked and ready to go. So watch the space. it will. Sorry, I've just seen Steve Bolton said Bruce is running out of beer. That's why I've got a little bit left, a wee bit left. Yeah, but I am looking to start Bru Time probably first, second week in January, and then at the moment my plan is to try and run it all year, not have that break in the middle. Just try and run it all year. But that'll depend on how things work out with the editor and workloads and stuff like that. But it will come back, I promise you. I've missed it. Right, thanks very much. Simon, where do people go again if they want to check out your routes and tours and all that?
Yeah, go to simonweir.co.uk, and there are 2 Corsica options on there if we've inspired you to go to Corsica.
I'm really gonna have to sit Simon down and work on his marketing, aren't I? It's not just the off the shelf tours. If you want to go somewhere in particular, drop Simon a line and just say, I've got time between these dates. I fancy a bit of this. What do you recommend? And he can custom build you a tour as well.
Yeah. Anywhere you want to go, easy.
There you go. No, honestly, and you will not find. So honestly, this man has a ridiculous mind for routes. It's incredible. They're all bangers for sure. Anyway, right, folks, I hope you've enjoyed all that. I'll leave links to Simon's stuff all down below. If you're not subscribed to the Bru Time channel, please do. If you're not subscribed to the TeapotOne channel, please do. If you're not following Si on all his socials, I'll leave links down below. Make sure you do. And if you fancy helping me out personally with TeapotOne, check out the clan over on Patreon, patreon.com/TeapotOne. A big thanks to all of you in the clan there for joining in this evening and helping us out. All right, folks, keep doing your thing. Look after those that you love, getting out there whenever you can. But most importantly, live your life. Woo-ha! Cheers now. Boom.